Good evening everybody. So today we're going to look at milk tree. So I was watching Man vs Wild season 1 episode 2 Costa Rica. He's walking through the monkey ladder vine here in Costa Rica. This is where they synthesize ibuprofen from, the painkiller. So it's an analgesic containing vine. But next he stumbles into a milk tree. He's just had a bad night. This is Bear Grylls in Man vs Wild, and he's had a bad night and he's trying to fix his stomach, and he finds a tree that he calls the milk tree, and he says it's a latex based white sap, and it's a white sap. Usually white saps we want to avoid, but in some cases they can even be good. And so I don't know what it is, because he just calls it a milk tree. On Google for, milk trees, and that looks similar, right? That leaf up there, if you see, that looks pretty similar to the plant he had. Alternate big leaves like that, it looks like the exact same plant. And so if I go to that, this comes up here. So it could be this one, but it could be this one. That looks like it too. Now let's see, did it have serrated edges?
It's just a really simple.
Well, I can't really tell, but it could have serrated edges a bit there. However, all the ones I found were pretty similar, so that you're looking for a broad leaf. Now at first what came up was these ones, which are African milk trees, which are really cactuses, not trees. And also what came up was this Strabulus banksii a fair bit, and this is around New Zealand. And because I'm from Australia, I was wondering if it was in Australia, but it doesn't look like it, because there's a map up here we're going to visit, and it doesn't look like Strabulus is in Australia. It may be, I'm not 100% sure, but on the map it does not show it. It just shows it in New Zealand. Now this is, a tree from the Amazon, and if you look at the bark, it's very similar, camouflaged, army camouflage. And this is probably a rubber. And when I put milk, I put into Google first, I put in latex milk tree, and all these rubber trees came up because that's latex. So I don't know if it's the same tree, because I'm not seeing the leaves of this tree. And look, it's not any of these other ones. It may be, for instance, this one. And that's that Tarunki that I just opened by the looks of it. So look, there's a few called large-leaved milk trees. Oh, look, there it is, Strabulus banksii. So it's an at-risk species, so it's not going to be common. So he was healing his stomach with it because he had a bad night, throwing up. He may have drunk bad water or something. So that's interesting. That looks like that one. Yeah, the Brazilian milk tree, I think this would be the one. Let's see. So this is a different name, so this is not the banksii. So this is the one I think it might well be. Not 100% sure once again, but let's have a look at the bark. Because remember, he was in Costa Rica, which is, Central America, but it's basically South America. It's pretty similar, the jungles and the plant species. Well, there'll be many different, of course, but there'll be some similar ones. So I'm wondering if this one's, in Brazil, is it in Australia? I'm trying to find out where it is and which tree it is. So this could be it, I'm not seeing a Costa Rican milk tree in the Google search. This has come up first. So anyway, that's not loading. 5 to 10 meters. Yeah, so it says it grows a fruit, milky substance used for medicine. And look, that is what he did first. He, you know, snapped the twig, produces a watery, milky substance used for medicine. So this could well be the one that he was actually showing in the video. It could be either one or some sort of hybrid, who knows. It's a wild growing tree, but let's just look into these sorts of trees. Here's Strobulus again. This one grows more around New Zealand, as we'll see. I don't know if this is all Strobulus. It must all be the same plant. Yep. So I'm not sure if what he had in his video was that, but there's two different types of milk trees that we've found. So yeah, I didn't really know about these, so it's pretty interesting. Formerly known as Paratrophus banksii, or Banksy. An endemic species of coastal forest on the North Island, south to the northern portion of the South Island of New Zealand. So there's some more pictures. So it seems to grow some sort of fruit as well. I wonder if that fruit's edible. Sir Joseph Banks named it, so it could be in Australia. It doesn't show it in Australia on the map though, that I found anyway. New Zealand, all those places. So there may be something similar in Australia that's a similar plant, or maybe in America, in North America. I'm not 100% sure. That looks very similar to the plant he showed. So it's in the Maraceae family. The fig family. Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting. Got those leaves. So it looks like there's a few different types of them after all. Interesting. There may be other other types of Strobulus as well. Three Kings milk tree, there we go, nice. So there's other milk trees. Aha, if this one's in Australia. And Hawaii, maybe. Yep, Polynesian, Australian. So this is a type of milk tree as well. Strobulus pendulumus. That's the one that I want to look further into. So look, the Strobulus banksii is not there, but maybe this one is in Australia, apparently. Growing out in the field. Okay. So there's that map I was talking about, and this is for Strobulus banksii. This is actually maybe even for a mushroom. I'm not even sure what it brought up 100%. So there's, and it's also called, that banksii is also called Cheese Man, apparently. Could have a look into that. Let's just have a look if it shows anything more on it. Oh, nice. Okay, let's have a look into the other one that I just found. Have a look what we can find on this one. Strobilus pendulinus. Threatened species, so it doesn't look to be... Yeah, it's in Hawaii. Native plants Hawaii. So it looks to be endangered or something. Listed as endangered. So they're not common. So it's going to be pretty hard to find out there. So there you go, but what a cool plant, because you can use it the way that he did. Say you're out in the wild or something, you get sick, you can use it to cure and settle down your stomach. You know, banana skins have a form of latex as well, so it's just, you know, it's not something, it's a stabilizer, it's not something that breaks down too quick, but it's also edible by the looks of it, and he didn't take a lot. You saw what he did, he just sort of licked the tree a bit. But yeah, look at this, there's other synonyms for that type of Australian pendulina. Strobilus pendulina. These are all the synonyms. Common names is Hawaii rough bush as well, Hawaii false mulberry. Yeah, right, so it's called Hawaiian false mulberry. So it looks like they're trying to conserve it too. Oops. Yeah, okay, well I've got the information, that's alright. Let's look for the habitat actually. Habitat. So there you go, that's what he was talking about too. I think Bear Grylls was saying there was something on the underside there. It's saying regularly occurring here, unknown in the United States. Interesting. Okay, well thanks a lot for donating, and hope you've enjoyed this as much as me, just figuring out this thing. And there seems to be a few different species of this milk tree that can settle our stomachs if we're ever lost in the Amazon or in Australia or New Zealand. For sure we may stumble across one of these, because he did in, where was he again? He was in Costa Rica. Yeah. Okay, cool. So thanks a lot for donating, Angie. Much appreciated.